Hello everyone, I'm Jerry Stone, and this is the Recapathon, Episode 3.
The Recapathon, where 3 radios and a tube-driven record player are recapped, because they sound awful. Anyway, the 4 contestants are... It's not a competition. Capart TC20, Stewart-Warner A61P3, Firestone record player, has a million model numbers, and Philco 37630. Watch now in like 3 to 4 weeks or months when the Recapathon will come on.
This radio dates from around 1946 and is somewhat unique. You see, this is a this could be a portable radio. So this is for the time it's a pretty average circuit. It's a 6-tube super heterodyne radio, and yeah, it's pretty neat. But it runs what used to on this is a 90/9 volt Burgess lead acid radio battery. These are actually worth quite a bit if you still got them, because most people threw them away. This is in a cardboard case, lead acid battery. Sorry, this is heavy, and yeah, it's made of cardboard and it's pretty neat. Let me show you where it would go. Opening up the back, you can see if I pan down here, we have the tube location. These uses GT style tubes. And you notice this is a pretty nice chassis and all that. I replaced the power cord. But not only could you run this off a wall, if you stuck this bad boy in here, you could run off a battery. Now, these a lot. Unlike last week's video, I'm sorry, we are going to do a before test. Okay, here's our benchmark test. This has some kind of audio cutoff circuit, because until the tubes fully warm up, I can't hear a thing out of the radio. There we go. So, let me tune. To another level physically and just tune that. So, what is this exhibiting? Well, if I tune to an empty spot on the dial here, if I tune to an empty spot, there's not a ton of AC hum, but there is quite a bit of hum in the circuit. And also, it only picks up maybe 8 or 10 stations. It used to pick up a few dozen, but now its selectivity has decreased a little bit, as I'm sure the wax capacitors, all the life's been squeezing out of them. It's acceptable, you could listen to it, but too bad, I already bought the capacitors. Let's take this apart. Now, the first step to take apart a radio is getting the knobs off, well, in my opinion. This radio's knobs are very stuck on. Well, one of them in particular, your selector battery knob. There we go. So, I used the cabinet to actually pull off the knob. Just pull on it. There we go. Okay. Pull the chassis up. Now the chassis should come out. And, of course, the back is pinching the cord. Let go. Okay. Here's our radio chassis right here. It's your average 6-tube 40 set. Just looking at my field of view here. Now, nothing has been replaced on here. Nothing. So, right now I'm just going to pull the tuning capacitor all the way back so it doesn't get shorted or damaged. And we're just going to flip this to here for now. You can see that. Okay. So that's our old filter canoramas. We might have enough room on the chassis to put it under. Failure with the Capart. Okay, now I got our macro view. So, we can see all 6 of the tubes here. Pretty nice. 3 of them have grid caps. Then we have our tuning capacitor. Pretty neat. We have our filter canoramas. 320 units. And then we got this. This thing, and yes, that is a metal spike. This was blown, and this is a metal spike. This is a neon indicator bulb, and it's supposed to flash when you're charging the battery, but I ain't charging that. Okay. This radio will have the most capacitors of any that I will replace in this series, even outnumbering the Philco. There's a lot. So let's see here. How many caps do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Hey, yo, that's sneaky. Okay. I couldn't find my third 20. Anyway, we are actually not going to start by replacing the filter cap. I'm going to start by replacing the smaller one so I can get a sense for the room in the chassis. And the stripe you see indicates the outside foil. Most of these capacitors are usually not polarized. Okay. Now, since these are metal leads, they like to spring back into a certain position. So, manipulate them, that sounds wrong, so that they work. Beep. There we go. So this one is a solar capacitor. You can just see how bad that is. It's just like a hole in one of the ends, and there's a little solder bead. Whoop. Okay, let's continue. These are all going to somewhere I cannot see. Oh, I see. Whoa! All 4 of these capacitors. It's like a gang. Is that ground? Ooh, chipped off a bit more of that stupid wax. I think these are all just soldering to the chassis, correct? And yeah, these are all connected to that one spot. I see problems. I see problems. I replaced 3 of the 4. We'll do the fancy 4 in a minute. But first, can I give applause to this camera? I got it for less than $10, and it's been serving me for years now, with almost no errors. So, yeah, it turned off, but you know, it's hot. So, good job. So, it's funny, in all the other bags I meticulously related 0.004, and I just put 4. Not to sever any. Beep. Get out. What an odd capacitor. 4 microfarads. I hope this isn't a precision one. This isn't a TV, so it's fine. So yeah, 4 microfarads. And this is neat. This is an oddity. Okay. Clear, smoke, clear. I want to see this. Nice. There we go. You can see how much smaller the new capacitor arrangement is. So yeah, I just have this 20 and this 30 to make a 50. That should fit. Okay, here's our little filter capacitor here, or one of them. This is the 50, and then we got the 20, 20, 20. 20, I call it the 20 microfarad machine gun. There's a huge cavity here. I'll put it there. I'm going to quickly replace all the capacitors around this one, which I'll replace with this, because it's a little bit hard to get to with this. And then we will replace this big boy. Boom! This was a pain in the butt to get out. I had to desolder a resistor. Now it's out. Anyway. there it is, 50 microfarad at 25 volts. This is probably for the 9-volt line. I replaced every capacitor I can, minus the filter. We'll do that tomorrow. On the bottom of this chassis. But we're still going to do the one on top. And we are just going to replace this little 1 microfarad. Because why not? Okay, I replaced it. And I also figured out that I actually do have a value. So only one will be untouched. Oh, of course, it's one that I can barely get to. Okay, let me replace this. I'll see you guys in a moment. So I built the filter capacitor, the new one. I'm going to put in the chassis. Okay, I put the filter capacitor in. I completely disconnected it from the old one, and on this one I just clipped off part of the old one's lead because I knew I'd damage the flexible resistor if I tried to desolder it. So, everything is back. Everything has been recapped. Now, I'm going to put this back together. Okay, it's time for the moment of truth. After all the pain and all the capacitor replacement, does this radio still work? No boom boom. I checked for shorts before I put it back together, but I hope I connected everything properly. There were some questionable moments. And yes, I reconnected the aerial, so we should get some yummy radio. It'll be a minute. We'll first check the...
On reverses, and the Chiefs look like they're going to get into the first down with you.
Still a bit of hum, but you know.
All down the field for Kansas.
Let's see how selective it is. Oh my god, that's KOA! And this is at like 10%. That's more selective than it was.
Current situation?
So, let's recap. Not like recap, you know what I mean. Recap what the beginning was. In the beginning, I was able to pick up like 8 stations. Now let's see what we got. That's 1. 19 stations. That's more than I got when I first plugged it in. Let's pick up KOA.
End up with like wacky colors in some cases, or over-exaggerated colors.
I did not expect it to go this well. Now, let's give the restoration rating. I guess I forgot to film this. This is a few days after, a little bit before you're seeing this video. I would give a 9 out of 10. This went very well. Now I have over double the selectivity, and it performs very well with almost no hum. So yeah, very successful restoration. I have 2.
I have like 5.
And then we will light the hole on fire.
Water is a great source, so you need to...
Star-spangled